All praises to the Most High. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother who is wisdom, whom some call Sophia, and our brother Yahweh Shah. Mishpachah, ever since we've awakened, because the Most High put His Spirit on us, we've had a lot of blasphemers and scoffers trying to come at us by saying the Ruach isn't feminine. She isn't a feminine spirit. Now, we have another one. Now, this person right here, we know what they do. This is just another Catholic Hebrew who likes to put up scriptures out of context and can't reason out a matter. So he runs to 1 Kings 11:15, honestly, which is the worst place to go, because King Solomon stated verbatim that the Holy Spirit is she. So going there is not a win. And if you're saying that we are idolaters, you need to prove it. That's something that you need to prove. We keep telling you, scoffers, that the days of throwing up random scriptures out of context, that used to work in the last age when we were asleep. That doesn't work anymore. You need to prove it. And then you run to 1 Samuel chapter 7, verses 3 and 4. You still didn't prove anything. Even on your video, AI generated, stated that in the grammar, it's feminine. But then you go and try to explain it away. As you can see on my YouTube channel, I have a lesson entitled, The Holy Spirit Wisdom is Feminine, the John 14:26 Deception. And then you had the nerve to say, well, you need to show me in the scriptures. Man, you only read one book. Here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept. It's more than just what the heathens told you is canon. And then you had the nerve to say, well, you know, I go to the Hebrew. I really don't read like the King James Bible. I go to the Hebrew. But when you were asked to prove your point, you ran straight to Romans. You ran straight to the Greeks. That's what Blassels do. And I know you don't know what that word means. I know you have no idea what a Blassel is. The Ruach had one of my brothers put an entirely new word in the lexicon. You know, the comforter that would bring all things back to remembrance. So you asked for proof. And then as soon as my beloved sister came with 2 witnesses and stated that we have proof, you started babbling and mumbling. So throwing up these scriptures didn't prove anything. You see this right here? I want you to pay attention. Look at all them tabs. You want proof? There's proof. Right there on my YouTube channel. I have the same thumbnail that I use on TikTok. My name is plain. Brother Sly. If you feel the Ruach isn't wisdom, I know you have a YouTube. Just tag me in a lesson and go through each one of these points and prove them wrong. And honestly, we're still waiting for someone to prove us wrong, to prove the Father wrong, to prove the Mother wrong, the Holy Spirit. See, we keep telling you, scoffers, that when you have the true Holy Spirit, you're able to see things that people aren't privy to see. Prime example, after we had our conversation talking about your blasphemous words, my sister and myself rebuked you in the spirit. So later on that evening, I go to the store. It's like 9:30 at night. I hop out my truck and guess what's there? A dove. A white dove. 9:30 at the night. 9:30 at night, right there at the store when I was walking in. You know, the dove is symbolic of the Ruach Hakodesh. See, you don't get signs like that, man. I go to the Hebrew. I go to the Hebrew. As if the heathens would give everything not corrupted. And that's what people fail to realize. Whatever you read, it was still transliterated by the heathens. That's why we depend on the Ruach to give us wisdom. So, as you can see, I have a thorough breakdown. And don't make false accusations. You did that the entire thread. You kept calling my sister emotional. Stop projecting, man. Stop projecting. Make a lesson, not AI generated. Make a lesson and prove that the Holy Spirit wisdom is not a feminine spirit. That's what we're waiting on. And no one has touched this video because they cannot. There's too many proof points to validate our claim. Bro, I can tell you really don't study. You run to King Solomon. He's the one that said the Holy Spirit is she. I pulled that source also. But this is what happens when you're 66, 80 books only and won't touch 2nd Ezra 14, 42 through 47, how the additional books would be given to the wise at the end. We have the worthy and the unworthy. The worthy and the unworthy were given access to certain books. But the worthy, according to the prophet Ezra, since you like going into the Hebrew, according to the prophet Ezra, would be worthy to receive the additional books. So once again, I have an entire thorough breakdown on my channel with several proof points and sources. If you feel we are in error, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. But we all know that you can't because we're cut from a different cloth. We actually acknowledge the mother, the Ruach HaKodesh. As above, so below. You claim that you love Hebrew, but yet you tout the same Greco-Roman fallacies. All praises to the Most High. Shalom.